Okay, so I'm briefly going to talk about painting your tiles and give you guys some tips and tricks and kind of show you some things that I have done with mine. So, when you choose your colors, don't just choose them randomly. I would highly recommend going on to Google Images or Pinterest and looking up color schemes, so colors that fit together well. So let's say you wanted to use a lime green color, you might just type in lime green color scheme. You're going to find lots of different examples of color schemes that work. However, you want to find a color scheme that has a lot of contrast in it. So it has both warm values and cool values. So your warm tones are going to be reds, oranges, and yellows. Your cool ones are going to be blue, purple, and green. Okay, so if you have both, you're going to have a nice contrast. Once you choose your four, realize that you can add white or black to any of those four colors, and that will help you or give you more colors to work with when you actually start painting your tile. So the area of emphasis should really stand out. So if you look on this one, I've painted it yellow or warm tones. Again, on this one, this is like a deep red. I also painted with a warm color. Typically, our eyes are drawn to warm colors more. They attract our attention more, where the blues and greens and purples kind of more reside or just aren't as, they're calming, so they aren't as attracting, they don't attract the eye quite as much. So I'm not making it a requirement that you use warm colors for your area of emphasis. However, you should be able to create a lot of contrast around that area. So as you see on this one, the background is blue or turquoise, so it really contrasts with this color. Same with this. This is a really dark color, and then it contrasts with this color. So it could be split vice versa. So you have blue and then yellow in the background. Totally up to you. Another thing that can really draw a lot of attention is detail. So you can add more detail to the areas that you want the viewer to look at first. So if you look at this one, there's about 4 different shades of red in here. In between the cracks, it's darkest, and then it gradually gets lighter all the way to the white. This one, the same thing. As you can see, like here in the cracks, it's like an orange. So it's darker, and then yellow, and then white. And then on this one, I haven't finished it yet, but you can see there's kind of like a pattern on the surface. So, you know, that can really draw attention if you're paying close attention to smaller details or creating like a texture. If your painting is really flat, there's a lot of surfaces that are just flat, something that you could consider is making a texture with your paint. So for example, this has lots of varieties of whites and lighter blue, and then obviously the dark blue. So you can create patterns just like this one and different colors that kind of just make the surface more interesting. Also consider the edges and the planes of things. So the top edge of this is yellow, whereas if you look on the side of it, it's red, okay? So that can be a really nice additive to the work too. And you can see down here as well, like the green on the sides, and then on the top you have the teal color, okay? So usually dark colors reside or like create more shadow. So this is a good example of that, where the lighter blue's on top and in the cracks or crevices is the darker blue. And this one kind of has that idea as well. But just think of all the possibilities you can do, such as the gradation. This one really has a lot of gradation, so moving from red all the way to yellow on various parts of this sculpture. And then this one here is also moving from like a darker orange to like a golden yellow as it wraps around. So think of all the possibilities, and let me tell you, this gets frustrating because painting one thing, you're going to mark up the next thing. It's not like painting a flat piece of paper. So it is a lot of back and forth painting, so you can clean up your lines and edges and put paint where you want it to be, and not where, you know, you've just like were unable to kind of get your paintbrush. So using a small brush can be very helpful for this. But I can't wait to see what you guys come up with. Let me know if you have any questions.